Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another Broke Millennial Reacts, but in celebration of the upcoming NBA playoffs, we had a pretty exciting bubble, the play-in games, all of that stuff. I think people agree that it was better than what we had expected and what we hoped for. The Suns going 8-0 in the bubble and still missing out on the playoffs, so tough break for them, but we're into the playoffs. We have the play-in game today. Obviously, Laker Nation out there, go Lakers. But I thought we'd take a look at how PJ Washington of the Charlotte Hornets spent his first $1 million. So the past videos, CNBC series focused on everyday individuals, but now we're going to look at how professional athletes, millionaires spend their money. I know there's a big stigma on how professional athletes manage their money. If you've seen the show Ballers too as well on HBO, fictional show, but on there it's fun to see how they manage their money as well. So we're gonna take a look into this video and let's get into it.
Definitely shoes. Any Nikes that came out, I was trying to get them, and Jordans as well. Also video games, pretty much. I was a game head, still am, so those are my two biggest things I would buy.
Shoes and video games. To be honest, I wore like the same pair of shoes for years and years and years, and when I got into college too, I started, for whatever reason, started getting into some, dabbling into shoes, and it is addictive, especially when the people around you are really into that kind of stuff as well, getting the new releases, the Kobe's, the LeBrons, whatever it might be. And Kentucky being a big school sponsored by Nike, I'm sure they got tons of shoes as well. So he didn't give a monetary estimate here, but I'd probably say a couple thousands of dollars. They also probably got a lot of free stuff through the school, but shoes and video games, you love to see it.
Being drafted was kind of hard to describe because in the green room, whoever's getting picked next, they put all the cameras in front of your face. So you kind of know when you're getting picked. When they said the 12th pick, I was looking down and then I looked up and then all the cameras were in my face. So I kind of smiled a little bit. I couldn't say anything. So I was just excited to have my family there with me, my agent, and my coach, Cal Perry, as well.
I think you and Tyler were in the same draft, right?
Yeah. I think we were just really excited just to be in the green room together. For me to go 12 and him to go 13, I think that was really big for both of us. I mean, that night we just couldn't really think about anything else. My contract was
And this is where things get interesting. After draft night, if you get drafted, you're looking at that contract. Let's see how this goes.
My contract is 4 years, 17.8 million. Once I heard the number, it honestly didn't feel real. You don't get any money till like November, so you don't see any check or anything.
Over $17 million over the first couple of years. That's crazy. Especially now, the whole debate, amateurism between NCAA athletes, if they should be getting paid, if they should be able to make money off of their image, their name. So most of these kids aren't making anything in school. You getting a good scholarship, room, board, stipends, but that's nowhere near where a lot of these big-time recruits and big-time players go on to get paid. Most people will never make that much money in their lives, or if they're lucky enough, they might reach a couple million for retirement, but this has already put him ahead of 90% of the people out there. So I'm sure as, a 20-year-old fresh college grad looking at that and just thinking, wow, that's crazy. So don't want to get too much into the debate, but I do see and understand when players make the decision to go after the money, because sports, anything could happen. You could get injured, something happened to you that you're not able to play anymore. So make as much money as you possibly can, save it, spend it wisely, and it should last you the rest of your life.
I mean, at the time I didn't have any money, so it didn't feel like I had money. It's extremely important to save your money, and it's really important to have somebody that helps you through the process. I found my financial advisor with my dad. Me and my dad would go around and interview a bunch of people. The plans we discussed with my financial advisor, 20% of everything goes into a spending account and 80% of everything goes into a savings account.
I think it's great that immediately his dad recognized the need for a financial advisor. This is a little bit above the pay grade of the average YouTuber, the average person that's just really into finance. When you get into this much, there's definitely a lot to be considered, not just on the financial side, but with taxes and other things as well. So right off the bat, he's already seems like he's ahead of the game. He knows what he's doing. And I'm sure with a lot of these high round draft picks or top prospects, they have a whole staff behind them. Their agents, their publicists, managers, financial advisors, accountants. This day and age, I think most of them would have that. And I do really think also the coaches, while they're in school, are telling these kids as well to be smart with your money. You're good, you have talent, but it's a competitive world out there. Only the best of the best can make it to the pro league. So if you're able to make it, great, but make sure you're being smart with your money as well.
Growing up, I've always wanted to open my own car dealership because my dad used to work at CarMax when I was really young. He used to come home with different cars pretty much every day. So that's one of my plans in the future. I definitely want to own a car dealership.
He's going to pull a Mr. Beast on us and open his own car dealership. Probably not going to give away the cars for free, but that's pretty cool. Talking about cars, I know a lot of these players, first thing you do, get a car, get their parents a house. So I'm interested to see how exactly he's spending his money.
Okay, we talked about how I saved my money, and this is how I spend my money. First thing I ever got was 2 apartments, one for me and then one for my family. Both apartments are in Charlotte, and actually they're like 10 doors apart from each other. I got apartments in the same building because we're a close family, so I felt it was easier for us to spend time together once they come in town. Whenever my sister comes down from school, she'll stay with them. I have an extra room in here, so my little brother stays with me. I really want to buy a house.
That's interesting. He got 2 apartments. I would have thought he'd be able to afford a house, but maybe he talked about earlier he's not getting that paycheck until November, so maybe that transition time between graduating and starting the season. Don't know. I'd imagine home prices in Charlotte's not too bad. I know it's a growing city, but surprised he got 2 apartments. Probably could have bought a house.
But I'm saving that purchase for the future. Just trying to think smart and save my money the best way as possible. 2 apartments, one for me and one for my family for the year, $60K.
There we go. He mentions that he plans on saving for a house later, which is good, and I'm sure he and his team have went over everything, but I'm really surprised. Maybe he's saving up for down payment or something else. But as a lot of people know, a lot of people would suggest try to buy instead of rent if you can afford it. Obviously, everyone's situations is a little bit different, but renting, that money doesn't come back to you. But if he's just going to rent for a couple years, a couple $1,000s a month, that's really nothing to someone making this much money.
My next big purchase, my Porsche Panamera, because after my freshman year, 2 of my teammates had came back and they were driving them. So I was just like, yeah, this is the car I wanted. So once I got all my money, that's what I purchased. I bought the car out of Louisville, Kentucky. I went with my dad, obviously because he was in the car business. And my dad does a good job of negotiating. So he definitely got the price down for me. The Porsche was $140,000. The interior is red. I pretty much have all the windows tinted as well. Porsche upgrades, $2,300.
Did you always want a black car? Did you see that when you were like, that's the one?
There we go. The big purchase, the car, the Porsche. Not surprised here, but upgrade is only $2,300. I'm not a car guy, but I know you can do a lot with cars, and I'm surprised that amount's not higher.
I mean, I just felt like it was simple. I mean, it doesn't really get too dirty, so that's why I wanted it. I have another car. Actually, I have 2 other cars. I have a Range Rover, and I also have a Tesla. I bought the Range Rover because the Porsche, I didn't feel like I'm a big guy, so the Range Rover just kind of fit better for me. And then I also got a Tesla because my brother needs a car, and pretty much I didn't want him driving all my stuff, so I just let him use that all the time. Range Rover, $130K. Tesla, $112K.
There we go. Now we're dropping that money. It started out kind of slow, apartment, one car, okay. I'm thinking, where's the rest of this coming from? We're stacking this on. Two more cars, one for his brother to use. So we hear a lot about buying family houses and stuff. So nothing too crazy here, but honestly, I might have done the same.
Before I got in the league, I was kind of into fashion, but now that I'm in the league, I'm a lot more into it than I was. I got a couple custom suits from, I think the company's called Elevate, and it's out of Los Angeles. The favorite thing I bought was probably my draft suit. It was dark blue and black, and it was like, it had really cool designs on it. It was dope. Top 3 fashion on the team, definitely Dwayne Bacon, Terry Rozier, and probably Miles Bridges. I'm a close fourth though. One of my teammates, Dwayne Bacon, has his own line. It's called Back Section. Everybody's really into it over here in Charlotte. My favorite shopping stores, Barney's, Saks Fifth, Neiman Marcus. Those are pretty much the 3 I use the most.
What was your favorite store before you were drafted?
Probably Foot Locker, House of Hoops. Clothing, I spent about $80K.
$80K on clothing? That's crazy. Me, broke millennial, speaking here. Honestly, I can't even imagine spending $80,000 on clothes. I mean, to me, a couple $100 jacket, Patagonia, something like that's already expensive. $80K, that's hundreds of jackets. So these are big purchases. $80K can buy you a car. That can get you a Tesla, or 2, or 3 actually. So $80K on clothing, once again, dropping that money, the fuck you money, I can spend it where I want. But I'm surprised that he wasn't able to get his draft day outfit sponsored. A lot of
I've always wanted jewelry, but I just never wanted like too much. I just wanted a couple of chains and maybe 1 or 2 watches. I don't have any watches, but I have a chain and some earrings.
And where did you buy your chain and earrings?
Jason Beverly Hills. First, I got a pendant. It's kind of an emoji, but it says my name. That was like $15,000. And then once I got the pendant, I wanted a Cuban. It's this it's a Chinese emoji. It means acceptable, but it says PJ right there. I just use it all the time on my Instagram, and then I just got a chain for it. After that, I just got some earrings to go with it.
Are those the ones you have on right now?
Yeah. Altogether, it was about $45,000.
First of all, Chinese emojis, that's kind of funny to hear him say, but 45,000 jewelry, actually not bad. I know you can probably get pieces of jewelry for like 50, 100 grand each. So chain and a ring, chain and earrings, I don't know jewelry prices. This is something.
I got my first tattoo once I got to college. It was a verse on my chest. It was a tattoo artist in Kentucky. I think his name is Mikey. Yeah. Once I got to the NBA, I wanted to get more, so I spent $8K on my sleeve. Tattoos, $8,000. I have the all single.
Just dropping $8 grand on a tattoo here. I think it's funny, the past couple of videos we're talking about broke millennial, looking at living in LA on $55K a year, New York 200K, and we're going over the 20% savings, the grocery budget, the beauty budget, travel budget. I just think it's funny here. It's just like, yeah, we're throwing thousands of dollars, $8 grand, tattoos, 50 grand, jewelry, 3 cars, 2 apartments. This is a whole nother level. I think I might start doing these more.
Looking over some doves, some crosses, and then on the rest of the sleeve I have it's like a gambling section, and then it basically says like bet on me. I just kind of tied it into each other. The artist is actually from Delaware, and his name is Mark Johnson. His Instagram is Jeezy Tattoos. Dope guy, pretty much probably one of the best tattoo artists out there.
Who has the best tattoos on the team, and who has the worst tattoos, do you think?
Honestly, I think we all have good tattoos, but I think everybody has some tattoos that they probably wish they never got. I think we're all in both categories, so.
Do you have plans for future tattoos?
Tattoos hurt, so I just gotta think about it. I want to give a special shout out to my best purchase yet, my dog. His name is Zeus. He's an XL bully. I think he's 11 months right now. He's about 125 pounds. He's just lovable. He doesn't bite. He just wants to play all day. And whenever I'm playing my video games, he's always trying to get in the way of that. So he just definitely wants attention all the time. We had dogs growing up. I had a Shih Tzu mixed with a Chihuahua. And then we got a pit bull. Once I had a USA thing, so I went overseas. And when I came back, nobody had told me, but my mom had gave him away. I was kind of bummed about that one. So once I got to the NBA, that was something I wanted to get. Zeus was $5,000.
Well, $5K on a dog. Barely, just a little bit less than tattoos.
The last big purchase of the year for me is a personal chef. All the vets advise young guys to get a chef just to eat right. You have to keep your body in tip-top shape, and eating right is one of the biggest things you need. He cooks lunch and dinner. Usually for breakfast, I'm always at the facility eating, so I didn't want him to cook breakfast. His name is TK, and one of my family friends from Dallas actually knows him, so it was just a great fit for us. I mean, his food was good. He's a good guy to be around, funny, and he can keep up with my family as well. The best meal that he cooks, I like his spaghetti and meatballs. The best I ever had. I don't even like spaghetti and meatballs, so once he made them and I ate it, I was like, it's pretty good. So for the year, for my personal chef, I paid $40,000.
Wow, 40 grand a year, personal chef. Once again, previous videos we were breaking down grocery budgets, dining out budgets. Here, personal chef, 40 grand. That's more than a lot of people make per year, but I think it's smart. Right, listening to the veterans, eating healthy, performing well. I know as an athlete, that's kind of ignored and brushed to the side a lot of the times, but you can't expect to be in the NBA eating McDonald's every night or making mac and cheese at your apartment every night. A lot of these players growing up in college were fed by the schools, by the dorms. Now into the NBA, probably don't know a ton about cooking. So this is actually a great investment into himself as well, to not worry about it, get someone who knows what they're doing, eat right. And I'm sure it's also saving his family a lot of time as well.
I actually have a whole little gaming center in one of my rooms. I just bought it a couple weeks ago. I got a gaming chair, a gaming table, and then a monitor. Favorite games to play right now, definitely Call of Duty and 2K.
Have you been playing a lot in quarantine?
There's nothing else to do, so whenever I'm waking up, I'm going straight to the video game. Video game setup, $500.
Okay, I'm kind of surprised here. $500 for a video game setup. That, he talked about gaming chair, gaming table, and a monitor. I'm pretty into PC games. I have my own computer, dual monitors, Xbox, PC, all that good stuff. Xbox is gonna run you $500, right, for the Xbox One X, the best one. Gaming chair, that's $300 to $500. Table, probably another $500. Monitor, if you're talking about good monitor, that's $1,000 plus. So I wonder what his setup looks like. I know a lot of these players are just casual console, we'll call them console gamers. Hopefully that's not too controversial here on a finance channel. But console gaming's obviously a lot cheaper. If you get your own computer, that can, there's no limit on the amount you can spend there. So I fully support this. $500 is surprisingly low even for someone like me. I think I've spent more money on my setup than he has.
So far, I've spent $622,300. The rest of my first million went to saving and investments. I didn't know I spent that much.
Okay, well, I guess that's good. And I'd even consider the 40K chef to be an investment into himself, savings and investments. That's actually a pretty big investment. But you know, a lot of savings, which is good. He didn't go out there and buy $1 million house. So maybe that's why earlier talking about the apartments, saving up until he has some more savings built up for himself. Yeah, it's such a big difference from the previous Millennial Money episodes we were into. And we thought 200 grand a year was a lot. I don't know anymore. These might be a little bit more interesting.
But I mean, I don't have any regrets. I feel like all my purchases were good purchases, so I'm pretty good with what I got. My advice for the next draftees, just to make sure you save as much as possible. Get what you want, but at the end of the day, just make sure you're saving. I'm an athlete, so obviously I have a job that's hard on my body, and I have to make sure that I'm set up for the future. Thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys are social distancing.
Yeah, ends it off with a good PSA towards new athletes and even, ordinary people alike. It's the average person is looking to save a couple $1 million to reach retirement comfortably. We talked about retiring early. If you're getting paid, tens of millions of dollars, it's really easy to overspend. But also, even if you're not saving that much, if you can just put away $1 million extra dollars a year and you have a 5-year career, that should probably set you up for retirement. We're assuming that if you get out of the NBA, even though you're not playing ball, you can still translate that into broadcasting or brand deals as a player, coaching as well. So there will be jobs and opportunities for you, and you already have your retirement stashed away. Obviously, if you don't save enough, you're not going to be able to have that lifestyle going forward after you play. But as a young person, I don't blame someone for buying a couple cars, getting some jewelry. That's to be expected. So this was my first million GQ Sports Broke Millennial Reacts video. I thought it was pretty interesting in honor of the upcoming NBA playoffs in the bubble. If you thought this video was awesome, hit that like button. Only ask once per video. If you have any other comments, your favorite NBA picks, any other videos you want me to react to next, be sure to leave a comment down below. But thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Peace out.